Hell number 5. You would think these intros would be a lot less awkward by now, but here we are. The most frustrating part of hell number 5 is that I already recorded this, but then when I went to look at it, I recorded it with no sound, so shit. Welcome, friends, family, strangers. Today I have a little bit different of a vibe because I am tired, I'm worn down. I just got finished with physical therapy number 2. I'm also not mentally in a great place, but I still thought that it was important for me to get my feelings out and to get them recorded and talk about some stuff, maybe, just maybe, that would help my mental state. This is the part where I promote my podcast, because why have a YouTube channel if you're not going to promote the other things that you do? And today we're just going to get right into it. So I'm going to start out with talking a little bit about physical therapy. I'm going to talk about my nutrition, my eating habits, my supplements, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to go right into feelings corner because your girl need a feelings corner. I just need to be raw dogged. Oh, it's good to hear me laugh. Okay, so physical therapy, real quick, get it out of the way. I cried again. I guess to be expected. I think I'm going to play a little game with myself, and the first physical therapy appointment that I don't cry, I'm going to get a reward. I don't know what that reward will be, but the way I see it, the first time I don't cry at physical therapy means that I'm less harsh on myself, and that is something that I need to be focusing on, is giving myself a break. I am so hard on myself, and I get so frustrated with my body working against me, fighting against me, betraying me. It is an emotional roller coaster, feeling as though your body is betraying you, because it is. It's betraying me. This vessel sucks. It's kind of cute though, so I guess I'll keep it. Now, I wanted to talk about my nutrition a little bit because I have been getting a lot of books sent to me, a lot of book suggestions sent to me, a lot of video suggestions sent to me, a lot of questions about if I've been changing my diet and this and that. And I wanted to address it because it has been coming up so much. I'm going to try to address it in the nicest way possible, because I do not mean to discredit anybody, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody from reaching out and trying to help in any way that they feel they can. I do appreciate the sentiment, but I don't always appreciate the content. And I hope that that doesn't upset anybody. So right now, I am not on a very specific diet plan, because over the past several years, starting at the time in 2019 when I was diagnosed with Lyme disease, I started making health decisions based on food back then. And I started incorporating more healthy, balanced meals into my diet. Now, my husband and I have always cooked. We love cooking. We cook together. Lately, he's been cooking alone, which I feel bad about, but I can't always do it. Sometimes I try to help. I'm like a little sous chef. I go in there and do a little bit of prep work, and then I leave the rest for Chef Jeff. We cook a lot already, and we cook nutritious food. It's not always comfort food. We try to incorporate a lot of things with a lot of different nutritional values. We incorporate a lot of stuff that is anti-inflammatory. I am always looking for suggestions of anti-inflammatory foods that I can help incorporate, or, if there's been some research done on a specific type of food that's very common, that is causing inflammation. Sure, I'd love to hear that information so that I can try to take it out of my diet plan. But I currently have a really healthy, balanced diet. That's not to say that I don't, eat garbage from time to time. It happens. Like, I think that happens for everybody. To when you cook every single day, it gets quite a lot. And there are some nights that you just don't want to cook, and then you order out. And most of the time when we order out, we try to order healthy foods. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes your girl just wants a big old cheeseburger, and I'm going to eat a big old cheeseburger, and that's fine because I'm not doing it every day. Along the lines of like all the books and stuff that people have been suggesting or sending me, which I do appreciate, but I, how do I put this? I will read them in due time, but I am not going to become a vegan. And that's a real strong statement to make, that I will not do something. And I don't hold myself to that. I'm not going to hold myself to that. If between me and a doctor, we decide that it is best for me to start taking a different approach as far as my nutrition goes and to start cutting out meat and dairy, then a doctor and I will make that decision later. But in the meantime, I am not going to be cutting out meat and dairy. In fact, my body is having a hard time absorbing specific nutrients that come from things like meat and dairy. And with my body already having a difficult time absorbing those things and me having to take supplements for them already, if I cut those things out of my diet, in my mind, that seems like a real bad idea. Like, oh, hey, you're not getting these vitamins and nutrients that these types of foods provide for you. Why don't you stop eating those foods? That doesn't feel smart, but I'm not a nutritionist, so maybe I don't know jack shit. I can tell you, as much as I appreciate the books and stuff, I also don't believe every book that I read. I'm not going to be like, hey, this is the end all be all for dietary nutritional needs for me. Because the thing about nutrition, as well as, the disease of MS, or any other demyelinating disease, is that they do affect everybody differently. And some things that work for some people don't work for others. And that's not to say that I'm not willing to try different things. I definitely am. I just also take everything with a grain of salt, because there is no miracle here. There is trial and error. And right now, I am happy with the foods that I am eating. I know what foods make me feel like garbage, and I avoid them. That being said, we are implementing some other things into my diet. Jeff and I eat all the same foods. We're that couple. If you knew how much thought and planning went into our cooking, our weekly menus, you wouldn't believe it. I don't know how other people do this, but I literally plan out our entire menu 1 week in advance, including meal prep on the weekends, so that we make sure that we have enough healthy lunches for us to eat throughout the following week. So we meal prep lunches, and then we have our dinners planned out for every single night of the week. So I know exactly what we're eating, and I know exactly what we need to get on the grocery list, and we set up our grocery pickup. Jeff swings by and picks it up, and then we have food for an entire week. We never have to question anything. That whole thing, like it's like a meme now where, couples are like, oh, where do you want to go out to eat? Oh, I don't know. Where do you want to go to eat? Or what do you want for dinner tonight? I don't know. What do you want for dinner tonight? Maybe this. No, that doesn't sound good. No, we don't have those problems, because we know exactly what we're going to eat when we're going to eat it. Unless we do have a lazy night and we're like, let's order food, then it's a matter of, oh, crap. What sounds good and healthy? We do our best. But we don't really have that problem because I do overplan everything that we consume. And I started doing that for several different reasons, but one of the biggest reasons was because whenever we didn't have a plan, we would end up cooking something that wasn't as nutritious as what we cook now. So it was really for health purposes to begin with. So my diet plan is pretty good. Now I am on multiple vitamin supplements, and the reason being is because my body is not absorbing those vitamins. Now, why that's happening, I don't really know. I have read a little bit that that's kind of a symptom of MS, that kind of happens, that your body stops, or is just not stops, but is just shit at absorbing your vitamins and nutrients from your food. And there are a few different reasons for that. I have been reading some books regarding that. I don't know. I got to talk to my doctor about some things, but I just don't know. I don't know why my body isn't absorbing vitamins. It sucks. It's not even doing a great job of absorbing the vitamins that I'm taking over the counter. So that sucks, but that's reality. And I do appreciate all of you trying to help out in any way you can, but just so you know, I will not be making any giant changes to my diet unless a doctor and nutritionist are along for the ride and make those suggestions, because I feel as though I already eat really healthy and we've got a good handle and a good routine of planning out all of our food, and I'm going to keep doing that. We have started implementing fish Fridays because fish have a lot of nutrients that my body is lacking, and we don't typically eat fish. I love fish. Chef Jeff does not love fish, but he is biting the bullet, or biting the... Is there a fish that rhymes with bullet? A mullet? Is a mullet fish a thing? Anyway, he's biting the tilapia, whatever. That's the only fish that we have started implementing because we are starting lower on the fishiness scale of fish. So we've started doing that. There, like, we do make slight adjustments. Like, I'm totally open to making slight adjustments to my diet and implementing different things. I'm open for, if you want to send me a recipe of something that is really healthy and tasty and easy. It doesn't have to be super easy, but quick and easy is, it's how I like it. Anyway, one of the things that I have found over the years that helps me a lot is taking turmeric. It's not like an end all be all for me. It's not like a glory supplement. It's good, but it hasn't like made me feel better. It just helps keep inflammation down. Turmeric is like a form of ginger. So, we also incorporate it a lot in our cooking. We do a lot of cooking with ginger. We do a lot of cooking with turmeric. We try to add in anti-inflammatory foods into our meals. Green onion is a really good one. Cinnamon is a good non-inflammationary food. I'm making up words now. Okay, well, whatever. So the supplements that they had me stop taking, I'm not going to mention here because I don't really want to influence other people. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist, and I don't know what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what has an effect with other drugs. I don't know. So I don't really want to touch that really. Other than I will say that through my diet and exercise, I had found a way to manage for many years. Cutting out vegetable oil specifically, that was huge. And that's hard to do. Not cooking wise, but like anything you buy at the store, I urge you to look at the label. check your labels. Like, you'd be surprised of how many things have vegetable oil in them. And you're just like, but why? We really like to have like a nice charcuterie spread with crackers and cheeses, and a lot of crackers are made with vegetable oils. And thankfully, my husband now makes me homemade crackers with his sourdough, which they are super tasty. But there's a lot of things out there that are processed foods. They're processed because they're difficult to make at home. Like, how many people make their own crackers? I mean, we do now, but we also buy some crackers from time to time. You just got to look at the label and see what they have, what kind of oil they use and stuff like that. So I've been pretty diligent on checking labels for things like that. And since I started doing that and I started cutting out a lot of vegetable oils and stuff like that, it's helped. Like, I felt like my flare-ups were far and few between, but now this flare-up is way worse than anything that I've ever experienced. So who knows why it happened, but it happened. Okay. So now is the time for feelings corner, because I need to talk about my feelings. And here's the thing. I already recorded this episode, this video, and I already cried a lot, which you can kind of tell with my makeup being shit. But I recorded it without any of the audio, so I felt the need to share it again. And maybe this will help me. Bitch twice. That's the old saying. When you're having a hard time with your feelings, raw dog 'em. Time to get real. I've been having a hell of a time. This week has hit me hard. It's hit me real hard. If any of you watching this have small children around, maybe don't during this, because I'm gonna be real. I've been having a really hard time being at home alone. I feel trapped. I feel lonely. I feel helpless. I feel betrayed by myself. I'm bored. That depressive type of bored. It's not that I don't have things that I can do around the house. Shit, I can get on here and record. I got lots of podcast stuff to do. Remember podcast? I have one of those. I'm working on season 2 of the podcast, and I'm trying to find the motivation to do these things. And frankly, that's really freaking hard. I don't have motivation right now. I am lonely. I need fun in my life. I feel like for the past 3 months, fun is non-existent. Like, I'm not allowed to have fun. And anytime that I have had fun, I feel like I've paid the price for it, like physically. And I'm going absolutely insane. I'm home alone most days because my husband has to go to work, which totally understandable and super respectful. I love him for that. That's really nice. But being home alone all the time is freaking daunting. It is so hard to be here alone. You know, we all went through the pandemic and we had the moments of the lockdown, you know. And here's the thing, like during lockdown, at least I was still able to walk my dog. Did I say that? Whatever. I don't give a shit. I know that I'm having an extra hard time this week because it's all catching up to me. And frankly, my uterine wall is shedding just like my myelin sheath. Ah. And I can tell you that, like, anytime I'm in the middle of a flare up and my period comes around, that flare up is intensified. And that sucks, but like, I don't really know what that is. I don't know if it's like that rush of hormones or what. There's something that is released that like makes things worse. So I feel like I'm extra achy. And then guess what? The rain came. No, Hillary Duff. Don't let the rain fall down. I'm upset. Like a lot this week. I'm having a really hard time mentally, like, and you can be weird about it and blame my period, but that's not what's going on. Like, that's just exacerbating the problem. Exacerbating? That's just adding fuel to the fire, and the fire be burning. So God, I feel like I look like I'm dead inside right now. But here, look at that. Look at that. This is me earlier recording this exact same conversation, but bawling my fucking eyes out. And now that I've cried about it, I just feel dead about it. Like, so it sucks, Aaron. Get over it. But it does suck. It does suck. Things suck right now. Like, this is shitty. I'm sitting here alone again. I feel like I'm constantly alone, and the sadness keeps creeping in. And so, something that you may not know about me is that I have struggled with depression from a very young age. When I was about 15, I was diagnosed with depression. And over the years, depression and anxiety, over the years, I have went back to therapy and talked to therapists and worked through some stuff from my childhood. And my therapist diagnosed me with complex PTSD. And I have been able to manage that fairly well over the past couple of years. I've learned a lot of different coping mechanisms. I have found ways to work through my feelings. And in moments when I feel super anxious or sad, depressed, oh, look who joined us. Oh, he cute. Oh, that's a cute boy. Yeah, I talk about you. You're on camera. That's you. Right there. Yeah. Oh my God. Who couldn't love that face? So for me, what I have found the easiest, quickest way to get me to calm down when I'm feeling really sad and depressed is to do something productive. And this doesn't work for everybody. This is just something that I have found for myself. When I'm feeling really sad and I'm feeling really down or I'm feeling really anxious, any of those feelings, being productive around the house makes me feel better. Also, there's something about being in a clean home that just makes you feel good. It's like washing your sheets, you know, when you get into that freshly made, freshly clean bed, there's like no better feeling, especially if you shaved your legs beforehand. So, like, gosh, anybody who doesn't shave their legs, try it once. Just slip your little fresh shaved legs into some fresh clean sheets and no better feeling. So anyway, I normally tend to do chores. I clean things. Sometimes I deep clean things. Sometimes I organize things, or I'll move things around, rearrange something if something isn't giving me the right feel, you know? And anywho, doing these things makes me feel productive. And the problem that I'm experiencing right now is that I am not allowed to feel that way because I can't do shit. And it is driving me insane. For reference. I had physical therapy today. I broke down crying in physical therapy today. And it was shortly after we started. And here's why. What I did was I get there, they immediately have me lay down. I lay down and they have me do, I think what they called clam shells? Clam shells, which now is thinking about it is a really interesting name considering what you do. Anyway, it's this thing. This, where like you're laying on your back, you put your knees up, like feet on the ground, knees up, and they put the band around your legs, and then you just basically open and close your legs like a clamshell. Pervert. They have me lay down and start doing those. I did 2 sets of 10. And I got so worn down that I was dizzy. Now, I don't know if you've ever reached that point in exercise where you feel so exhausted, like you're kind of like lightheaded and feel dizzy. And like typically this will come from like, running long distances, lifting lots of heavy weights, like really like pushing those limits. And let me tell you, finding out that those limits are opening and closing your legs 20 times is pretty fucking disappointing. And that is why I broke down crying in physical therapy today, because there is absolutely no reason in my mind why I shouldn't be able to open and close my legs 20 times without getting dizzy while laying down. Actually, there is reason for that. Mr. Bones! Quit licking your toes. Yeah. I got you. I got you on camera. I'm sorry, baby. It's okay. But don't lick your beans, okay? I love you. He got in trouble. So there is a reason why. And the reason why is because I'm sick. I'm just having a hard time accepting that. I'm having a hard time embracing that. Embracing? I don't know. Are you supposed to embrace it? I don't know. I'm having a hard time. If that doesn't give you a good reference as to why I can't do household chores, then I don't know what to tell you. They've tried to encourage me by letting me know that like it's the small victories that I need to celebrate, the little moments, the small short things. It's like, hey, like you didn't do great like in your mind, but if you look back to last time, you couldn't do this and now you can. And everybody knows how hindsight works. Bonnie, quit licking. That's how you. Anyway, that is the reference as to why I can't do household chores. And it sucks. What? Did you just cry at me? Anyway, this feelings corner is pretty low energy because I am freaking tired. So I have some other feelings and emotions that I got out and cried about. See? In the first attempt at doing this video. And now I don't even remember what all they are. I know that the bulk of it is that I feel lonely, I feel alone, I feel trapped. I feel like I'm trapped at home and I can't do anything and I am all alone and there's nobody listening and there's nobody here to help and there's nobody here to talk to except for that little guy right there, the little baby Gump. And he's really great, but like all he wants to do is just love on me. He can't talk back. One day I hope they make that technology. That would be fun. And because of how lonely I've been feeling and how down I've been feeling, I did reach out through social media, which I know a lot of people think is really weird. And that's fine if that's what you feel, but you're wrong. It's not weird to reach out to people for help. I think we need to completely normalize reaching out to people if you're feeling down in that way, because that's healthy. Like, I was feeling so sad and alone, and we have this technology at our fingertips through social media. Like, if there's one good thing to come out of social media, it should be how easy it is to find that support system, to have that support system and reach out to them. Like, if you're not doing well mentally and you need somebody to, like, just say, hey, you're doing great, keep doing what you're doing, or I just want you to know I'm proud of you, or you look beautiful today. Anything, anything. Like, I think that it's a fucking fantastic thing to be able to reach out to hundreds of people all at once who may or may not care about you, and see what comes your way, you know? See if somebody actually reaches out. And I had so many of you reach out and send me a funny video, like send me a sweet comment, and that is all that I asked. That's all that I needed. And honestly, it helped. It made me feel better. It made me feel less alone. Some of you made me cry. And that, I don't see that as a bad thing. You made me cry in a way that I felt relief. I felt a release. So I'll share one of the things that was sent to me. My friend Courtney sent this to me, and she doesn't know it, but this it hit home. It hit home so hard. She sent me a video. It says, I tell you now, she's not the princess that needs saving. She's the warrior that needs a place to rest in between battles. Be her home. And she said, this isn't a funny video, but it's something I think you should hear. You're a warrior, babe. Keep staying strong. And my God, she has no idea what that means to me. Because all day before I sent out that post, I just kept feeling like I was that damsel in distress, that princess locked in the tower, because I feel trapped and I feel alone. And I don't think that I am that, you know? I don't identify as a princess. And feeling that way sucks. It is so hard. And her sending me that video along with that message, reminding me that even though I may feel like I'm not trapped, helpless girl in a tower, I'm actually a warrior, and I am battling something that is really hard to battle, and I just need a moment, and I'm allowed to have those moments. And I don't think I allow myself to have them enough. I find myself, and here I was thinking I was done crying today. I find myself getting really down, and then I feel a lot of pressure to bring myself back up. Because in a world where you're surrounded by negativity, and you are normally that positive light, if you go dark too, then who's gonna bring you out of it? And like, the answer is all of you. Like, all of my friends and all of my family and everybody who has, you know, reached out and helped me out in my time of need. Like, you guys are my light. And it means the world to me to have that. I need it. Like, I need to be able to allow myself to feel like this. Because the more you push this down, the harder it gets. The bigger the bomb is, you know? Ugh. I hate feeling like this. I don't want to embrace it. I don't want to feel like this all the time, but sometimes you have to. You have to be able to release this. You have to be able to raw dog your emotions so that you can work through them so that they don't affect you anymore. And I have been pushing a lot of feelings down, even though I feel like I haven't. This is heavy. This is a lot to go through. And frankly, I don't have my therapist anymore, but I have options to get another one. But in Feelings Corner, here's how I feel. This is very frustrating. It is now middle of November. November is a short month. It'll be over before a blink of an eye. Then it's December. And then it's the new year. And getting in with a therapist right now would be really difficult because my insurance resets in January, which means my deductible resets, which means more money. And one of the shit things about the American healthcare system is that no matter whether or not you have insurance or not, it's fucking expensive. Everything is fucking expensive. I mean, I was in the hospital for 8 days. 8 days. They did 5 plasmapheresis treatments on me. That's a lot. And that's a lot of money. And like, I'm not able to work. And we're fine for now, but I feel like we're drowning. And I feel like I am using my husband as a life preserver, and that feels so unfair. And this isn't like, oh God, I really didn't want to get on here and complain about money because everybody that I know has money issues. Like, we all have freaking problems, right? But this is Feelings Corner, and I'm allowed to bitch about whatever I want to. So, like, truthfully and honestly, it sucks. And a part of me not wanting to reach out and find a new therapist right now is because I know that I'm going to have to pay for it in the new year. And God, I just want to spend my money on other things. I want to do fun stuff. I want to go out. I want to get out of the house. I want to do stuff. I mean, plus I have other things that are other fun obligations that I need to spend my money on next year. I have some weddings to go to, and those are things that I am not going to miss. I'm not going to miss because of my health. I'm not going to allow that to hold me back. And drowning in debt is just something that I guess is an American rite of passage. Stupid. In my heart, I know that choosing to not get a therapist right now because of money is not the right choice for me. I guess that's really just an excuse that I've been using. The thing about therapy, if you've ever been or if you've ever thought about going, I think that anybody who's ever been can tell you that it's not easy to bring yourself to make that first step, you know, no matter how many times you've gone before, you know, getting back into it. It's not like a shameful thing for me anyway. Like, I'm not ashamed that I need therapy. I'm not ashamed that I've been to therapy. Like, I think that it is a very valuable tool that I think that everybody would benefit from. But making that first step to pay money to talk about you, that's a lot, you know? Like, oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice hard-earned cash to focus on myself. Like, that's a lot, you know? Like, we're not great at focusing on ourselves, or at least I'm not great at focusing on myself, and I've been trying to get better about that for years. And I have gotten better. I've gotten a lot better. But obviously, I'm not doing a great. Little baby gray hair, you're so cute. What you doing up there? You're hanging out with your friends. Little baby gray hair. I don't know if anybody knows this, but once you go full gray, that means you're full witch. And I'm waiting for the day. Enough distractions, Erin. So anyway, thank you all for reaching out. Thank you all for sending love when love is needed. And I encourage anybody else out there who feels down at any time to just be honest with yourself and be honest with everybody else. That's all I was doing. Saying, hey, I'm having a hard time. I need support. Send me a video, send me a comment, send me something funny, send me something to perk me up a little bit. Tell me my butt looks nice, which I did get a lot of that, because it always does look nice. Thank you. Thank you. There is no shame in reaching out. In fact, if you do, I'm proud of you. And since I did, I am proud of me. There's no easy way to end this conversation. This has been a weird video. I'd like to tell you that the first one I recorded was better, but I think that might be a lie because they were both very strange. But it's where I'm at right now. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, if you didn't make it this far, you're not watching this part, so I don't know why I said that. Please keep sending nice comments or comment on the videos, comment something nice. Like, I do read all the comments, and when somebody sends me something about how proud they are, or anything encouraging, nice, friendly, anything like that, it really does help. It lifts me up a little bit. It gives me that little kind of hit of dopamine. And your girl need that dopamine right now. This has been Hell with Erin, number 5.